Guardian Owl Digital was created to provide integrity and transparency in the ever-evolving and chaotic internet world. We have compiled 15 ways your business can utilize SEO and digital marketing to help support your company through the coronavirus. We will be hosting a live webinar this coming Wednesday, April 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to review these recommendations as well as answer any related search engine marketing questions you may have. You can enroll by visiting guardianowldigital.com or utilizing the link in the comment section of this video. We look forward to answering any of your questions, reviewing these recommendations, and hopefully giving you some words of wisdom to support your business during these times. We'll see you this week.